Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon. Welcome to. Wait, I just remembered my push-a-talk is on Discord, so give me one moment. But while I'm doing that, good afternoon. Welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. I, of course, am AO Xander, and you, viewer, are you. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly, checking audio levels. Yep. And the show is about interesting and important events that occurred on this calendar date. Throughout recorded history. This date, of course, being April 17th, 2026. It is Friday, Frida's Day. Let's start us off out here. When do we start here? 642. Sunith became the Visigoth king of Hispania after deposing King Tula in a coup and torturing him, making him a monk, or tonsuring him. What is that? It made him a monk. Let's right out of the bat, we have a word that I've never heard before. Tonsure. A tonsure is a practice of cutting or shaving some or all of the hair on the scalp. Oh, so that's what that is. It's a tonsure. Okay. Well, looks like we have right out of the first article, we have a link for the underbar in the description. So tonsure, if you want to read up more about that. It's an interesting practice there. Never knew the name of that thing. Moving on up to 1080, Harold III of Denmark died and was succeeded by Conte IV, who would later become the first Dane to be canonized. Alright. 1349, the rule of the Bavarian dynasty in Mazgarden was brought to an end by the murder of Hassan II. Okay, and that was up here, 1362. No, that was 1349. So some of these are not on the main source here. And I am trying a new UI. I was talked with about some ideas from some people and everything. So welcome to the show.
So what have you changed?
I changed the UI.
Which is what?
Well, instead of having two things on this side here, I have one. This is the entire website. And then over here on the other screen, I have my articles that I read.
Okay.
1387, the fictional characters in Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales began their pilgrimage to Canterbury, according to scholars. So, remember I was talking about, I love how they throw in little things here, because this is from a work of fiction. So in that book, on this date in that year, is when they began their pilgrimage, in a work of fiction. So, 1397, Geoffrey Chaucer, we got that one. He told the Canterbury Tales for the first time at the court of English King Richard II. So right there we have 1387. This is when they started, in 1397. So two Canterbury Tale articles. Interesting. 1492, Christopher Columbus signed a contract with the Spanish monarchs to find the Indies, with the stated goal of converting people to Catholicism. This promised him 10% of all riches found and the governmentship of any lands encountered. That's a heck of a deal right there.
Yeah.
Spaniard Christopher Columbus signed the capitulations of Santa Fe for his voyage to Asia to acquire spices. By the way, next time you move the mic, try to be careful, because every time you click on something, it picks up. So like you're gunk, 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 gunk when you're like hitting all the surfaces. 1521, the trial of Martin Luther over his teachings began during the assembly of the Diet of Worms. Initially intimidated, he asked for time to reflect before answering and was given a stay of 1 day. That's not a lot of time. And we covered that yesterday. And here's
I don't remember.
that's when he arrived for the Diet of Worms, okay. When we spoke about that. And here's an image of him. I believe that's Martin Luther maybe right there. I'm not sure. But we just went over, like how a lot of monks, they have that hairstyle.
Yeah.
We just covered that. That was from the very first article. It's called tonsure.
Ah.
So like
the hairstyle is a tonsure?
Yeah. Tonsure is a practice of cutting or shaving some or all of the hair off the scalp, the sign of religious devotion or humility. So like everything on the top, Friar Tuck and all that jazz.
I'm about a toaster now.
Well, that's male pattern tolstering. So, 1524, Florentine navigator Giovanni Verrazano, on a voyage for France, was the first European discovered New York Harbor. Well, what would become New Amsterdam Harbor and then New York. So, 1610.
I like the way they say they discovered it.
Yeah.
Right, like it wasn't there.
Yeah. 1610, English explorer Henry Hudson departed London, England, on board the Discovery on his fourth, final, and fatal voyage to discover a northwest passage to the Pacific.
I
And
bet you that's where the Hudson River, Hudson Harbor, or whatever.
Hudson Bay,
Hudson
all that
Bay?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that is named after him, and
Yeah.
he did discover those prior to it. But on this fourth voyage, he actually suffered a mutiny, and they set him adrift in Hudson Harbor, like in the body of water that either was or will be named after him. They set him adrift with all of his friends and everything. On like a boat or whatever, like a little rowboat, because they mutinied, took over the ship, and he was never seen or heard from again. So, and between him and like I forgot who it was, but another very very known explorer pissed off the Hawaiians enough that they killed him.
Oh, yeah, I remember something about that. Yeah.
And that was back when they were called the Sandwich Islands before they were known as Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, 1621. Lord Chancellor of England, Francis Bacon, was charged with 23 counts of bribery and corruption by a parliamentary committee on the omission of the law. That's not good. 1684 here, Dutch East India Company signed treaty with Sultan Hajj of Banten and Java to aid him in a civil war with his father in exchange for sole right to trade in the Sultanate. 1758, Francis Williams, first U.S. black college graduate, published poems. All right, cool. So it says poems by Jamaican black intellectual and writer Francis Williams were published. Okay.
Jamaican poems.
Yeah. 1774, first Unitarianism Church service in England. Well, I'm trying to keep these two aligned here. So the first whatever this word is, church service in England was held by Theophilus Lindsay at the Essex Street Capitol in London. 1783, during the American Revolution, Colbert's raid, a Spanish garrison under Captain Jacob du Barril defeated British irregulars at Arkansas Post. So they were not regulars, but irregulars. I wonder what a British irregular is. No, seriously, what is an irregular in regards to British military? Let's see here. Irregular military, okay. It is any military component distinct from a country's regular armed forces, representing non-standard militant elements outside of conventional government backing. Irregular elements can consist of militias, private armies, mercenaries, or other non-state actors. Okay, and it has here some African or something, a picture of a black person. So, I guess like maybe slaves. Would they
Well, I guess anybody that forms an army. But now, here's my question. Okay, the states have a right to maintain their militias in the Constitution.
Oh yeah, but we're talking about British.
But okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the definition of the word.
Yeah.
So.
Which they're trying to repeal.
Okay. So, if a state maintains their
militia,
is it an irregular army because it's not part of the federal army?
It would not be a regular army because you're not trained. You're not, like official.
Well, you could be trained by the state.
Yeah, but you're still you're not. So it would be an irregular army, I believe. It would fall under that.
Even though it has the right in the Constitution to have that.
But it's not an armed force. It's a militia. It's a combined thing. It's not I think it would be considered an irregular army.
Well, it's an interesting dilemma.
Yeah. Well, that's not really something we can bring up in IOYO. I was just about to say we can talk about that, but it's not really a debatable thing. Like it's more of a political thing. I'm sure there's something, like it's under something. I would say a militia is under an irregular army based off of this definition.
Yeah.
1797, Sir Ralph Abercrombie attacked San Juan, Puerto Rico, one of the largest invasions of Spanish territories in America. Wow. We also have citizens of Verona began an unsuccessful 8-day rebellion against the French occupying forces. 1808, Béarnine decree by Napoleon I of France ordered the seizure of U.S. ships. What the hell are you doing, Napoleon? Why? Why are you seizing our ships? You were an ally, you maniac. 1824, Russia abandoned all North American claims south of 54 degrees 40 feet north, whatever this latitude is. So, 1839, Guatemala formed a republic. Cool. 1851, Clipper Marco Polo was launched at St. John's, New Brunswick. It was then the fastest ship in the world. But I wonder how fast, like how many knots. It doesn't tell us.
No.
1860, champion of England Tom Sawyers and U.S. John Hennon fought out a brutal 2-hour, 27-minute draw near Farnborough, England. Police stop fight acknowledged as the world's first title bout.
Ah.
All right. So, it says the same thing pretty much in the other source. 1861, Virginia seceded from the Union during the U.S. Civil War. The State of Virginia Secession Convention voted to secede from the United States, later becoming the 8th state to join the Confederate States of America. Now, that's very interesting. Richmond's in Virginia, and Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy. But then how can they could be the 8th state to secede? Like, wouldn't they have been the first? Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what the process, how it ended up in Richmond, but
well, Jefferson Davis and all that stuff.
It took them a while to form everything into once they had 8 seceding, or how many they finally had to have, then they had to find a capital and pronounce they're a country and have whatever legal documents they need. So that all takes time.
I'd like to know a little bit more about that, because that is
How'd
an
that
interesting.
end up?
Yeah. 1864, bread revolt in Savannah, Georgia, because of the war. So we also have Grant suspended prisoner of war exchanges. So no more exchanges and all that stuff. 1865, Mary Surratt was arrested as a conspirator in Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Never heard of her. Mary Surratt. 1869, Morelos was admitted as a 27th state in Mexico. Don't really cover Mexican states. It's actually not even on the main source. It's from the other source there. 1875, modern snooker was invented by Sir Neville Chamberlain, a bored British officer in Jabalpur, India. Or Jabalpur. Snooker, yeah.
Yeah. Snooker's a tough game.
Yeah, and it's also a very, what's the word? Risky word to say as a white person. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just a few letters away from saying a really bad word.
Snooker.
There's an N and a G and an R. Hey, people will go after you in every way they can.
Snooker. It's a tough game. It's a bigger table than a normal pool table with smaller holes. So it's really a difficult game.
1892, first Sunday National League Baseball game. Reds defeated the Cardinals 5-1. All right. In 1895, Treaty of Shimonoseki was signed, ending the First Sino-Japanese War from 1894 to 95. It was between China and Japan. This marked the end of the First Sino-Japanese War, as I mentioned here, and the defeated Qing Empire was forced to renounce its claims on Korea and concede the southern portion of the Fengtian province, Taiwan, and the Pescadores Islands to Japan. 1900, High Chiefs of American Samoa signed the Instrument of Secession of Tutuila and swore allegiance to the United States. So now we have American Samoa. And that's, I think...
Still today.
Yeah. 1905, U.S. Supreme Court judges maximum workday unconstitutional in Lochner versus New York by declaring the right to free contract implicit in the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Okay, that's incredible lawyer speak. I'm not entirely sure what that... here's an image of that boxing.
Bout.
Yeah, so... And, okay, we'll get there eventually. 1907, Ellis Island, New York, recorded 11,745 immigrants. More than any other day. Wow,
that's
so that's
in a day?
One day.
My next question was, well, over what period of time? A day?
24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. The other source, that's where I found it. Like, the other source, because in the main source, it just says that. Other source says more than on any other day. That's why, once again, use multiple sources. It's not just doctors you need a second opinion of. If you're going to research or look into anything, use multiple sources. 1912, first unofficial gold record, Al Johnson's Ragging the Baby to Sleep. That sounds terrible. Why would you rag the baby? That sounds horrible. Like...
I don't know what that must have had some kind of term in the day.
Well, it looks like, you're rocking it, but like... If somebody comes up and tells me, oh, I rag the baby to sleep, first thing I think of is, first off, you either have a rag and you're just knocking it out, or you just grab the baby and knock it out. I ragged it,
And that may be a musical term, shake, rattle, and rag, what
maybe.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So rag your baby, instead of rocking your baby, rag your baby, whatever the dance was.
Let's see here. What does it mean to rag a baby?
To sleep.
Let's see here. Rag baby, definition and meaning. Well, it just says ragdoll sense. Looked like an adorable old rag baby. Okay, I'm not getting anything from here. Okay. What else do we got here? 1912, got that one. Russian troops opened fire on striking goldfield workers in northeast Siberia, killing at least 150.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. 1917, Vladimir Lenin issued his radical April thesis calling for Soviets to take power during the Russian Revolution. Old style is April 4th. Yeah, this is...
we talked about that. Very similar to that. I don't know. Forget what the terminology was. It was the same type of deal.
I think he came back from exile or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like there's like two different things of the same article, but they came from different sources. But one said old style the third, and the other said the fourth. And now it says the fourth again. So now we know that the old style is the fourth compared to the 17th. 23, longest National League opening game. Phillies and Dodgers tied 5-5 in 14 innings. Can you imagine? That's 2 7-inning stretches there, and it's a tie.
Yeah. So what do they do in a tie? Because you can't have a tie ball game.
Well, apparently you can. It doesn't say anything else.
No. Well, they didn't tell you anything else. I'm going to tell you what the rules are.
Sudden death or something? Or
no. They have a curfew. So let's say 1 a.m. So if it hits the curfew, you finish off the inning.
Okay.
If it's still tied, then you take it up in the next game. In other words, it may be the next day or the next time you see the Phillies. In other words, if they may the Phillies may be leaving town tomorrow, so you're not going to play them.
So it's just a hung game until
and then you will finish the game, and then you'll play the next game. It'll be like a mini doubleheader.
Huh, that's interesting. 25, the Communist Party of Korea, CPK, was founded in Japanese-ruled Korea, or Chosun back at the time, in Kenjo, now Seoul, by Kim Young-bom and Pak Hon-young. Now, neither of those are Kim Il-sung. And this is from my secondary source here with the exclamation point. So, but I thought he formed North Korea, but
I thought he was the original one to take power, anyways.
Maybe he took it from these guys.
Maybe he did.
I don't know.
I don't know that much about their history.
I don't either.
Political history, especially.
Yeah. 1930, DuPont scientist Elmer K. Bolton invented neoprene using Julius Neuerland's divinyl acetylene. Yeah, those are some big words there. Or like
neoprene, I know that.
Neoprene. See, neoprene. Neoprene. It's a family of synthetic rubbers that are produced by polymerization of chloroforene. Neoprene exhibits good chemical stability and maintains flexibility over a wide temperature range. It's sold either as a solid rubber or in latex form and is used in a wide variety of commercial applications. It looks like there is a wetsuit right there in the picture.
Yeah.
So that rubbery stuff.
Maybe
that's neoprene.
The way I know it because I wore wetsuits and things when I surfed.
Yeah. 31. After negotiations between Catalan and Spanish provincial governments, the Catalan Republic, proclaimed on April 14th, became the Generalitat de Catalunya, the autonomous government of Catalonia within the Spanish Republic. All right.
Now let me go back just about neoprene and wetsuits.
Yeah.
When we wore wetsuits, that's after we got wimpy. When we first started surfing, there were no wetsuits, and you went out in a bathing suit in December, and it's freezing. I'm not going to tell you what froze off.
Well, maybe you shouldn't go into the water, you dingleberry.
Oh, you're going to surf no matter what. What's a little cold? So your dingus breaks off because it's frozen,
Okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
32, Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia ended slavery. All right, about time. It took him a while. 33, the Chicago Bears, won their first NFL game, defeating the New York Giants 23-21. That's close. 34, Fenway Park in Boston reopened after a major renovation, including a hand-operated electronic scoreboard, though it did not help the Red Sox, who lost to the Washington Senators 6-5. No. 35, first commercial flight from mainland to Hawaii, when Pan Am's Pioneer Clipper flew from San Francisco to Honolulu. Okay. 39, in the sixth title defense, world heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis knocks out Jack Roper in one round at Wrigley Field in Los Angeles, California. I didn't know that we had a Wrigley Field out here.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was in Chicago or whatever.
It is in Chicago.
Okay.
And, no, that's where first first professional game I ever went to.
Oh.
The Los Angeles Angels, not the of Orange County or Anaheim or anything else, they played in Wrigley Field. They weren't in the major leagues. They were in what was called they were in the minor leagues, AAA, in the PCL League, Pacific Coast League.
Now, well, the Angels, they're in Angel Stadium is in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Now, were they called the Los Angeles Angels
No.
or
Had nothing to do with the Angels of Anaheim. This was a minor league ball club for I don't know which major league team. We had two teams here, and then one of them wasn't the Dodgers. We had the Los Angeles Angels, who played in Wrigley Field.
Okay, so they're not the same Angels.
No, they were in the minor league.
Minor league, okay.
And then this will tell you the whole thing. We had another AAA minor league team called the Hollywood Stars. And I think our Angels went to Spokane.
Okay.
Probably still there today.
Well, I was just wondering because, like, I think the Angels are called the Anaheim Angels, but for whatever reason, the LA wanted a piece of it, so now they're called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid. It's like, LA, you have the Dodgers. Fuck off. You know?
The story behind that is a Hispanic bought that franchise, the Angel franchise, and he wanted it more attractive to the Mexican followers in TV, radio down there, so he wanted to attach Los Angeles to it.
So
Los Angeles of Anaheim.
That's so
Anaheim
stupid.
wouldn't let the name go.
Yeah, well, because they're based in Anaheim.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, they got to repeal that or something. That ain't right. You know.
Now, more history on the Angels.
You know, if he wants to do things to appeal to his country, then he should do things in his country. You know, you're over here, okay?
Now,
like
they were gonna have a new franchise in Los Angeles, which was gonna be the Angels in the American League. So
now this is Major League, correct?
This is Major League, yeah, and the league was expanding, so they're gonna bring in a new franchise, and it was gonna be in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So, and I can't think of his name, unfortunately, but a big cowboy movie star.
Oh, I remember this.
Who also had a radio station out here in Los Angeles. So he went to this meeting, and what he was pitching was whoever bought it, he wanted them exclusive rights to put the Angels on their radio station.
Gene Autry?
Gene Autry, yes.
Okay.
Anyways, he ended up buying the damn thing.
Well, we gotta get back on track here with the history here. No worries.
Way off.
Well, that's what that's why I rattle things off so we can have enough room to have these little moments here.
Keep rattling.
41 British troop landed in Iraq. Not troops, troop. It says singular. So,
One guy.
What's he doing there? I don't know.
What was British doing there?
World War II, North Africa.
Of course, yes,
So,
okay.
41 as well, Egyptian steamer SS Zamzam was attacked and later scuttled by German cruiser Atlantis, although all on board were rescued. So Germans actually being the good guys for once.
Yeah.
Or I guess, not really good guys because they're still scuttling a ship and being at war, but at least they're not massacring people, like wheat in the field. 41, U.S. officer of Price Administration forms handled rationing. Okay, so the office of that, to handle the rationing and everything. 41 as well, World War II, the Kingdom of Yugoslavia surrendered to Germany. The invasion of Yugoslavia was completed when it signed an armistice with Germany and Italy.
Wonder how long the Yugoslavia lasted. Probably a week, maybe.
I'm not sure. 42, 12 Lancasters bombed Man Factory in Augsburg. Man Factory. Manufacturing, maybe? It just says, in all caps, Man Factory. Do they make men or something there? Is it a baby factory? What is... No, it's a man factory.
It's got to be a manufacturing.
I'm wondering.
Factoring.
Yeah.
You don't say manufacture. Factory.
Manufacturing factory. Manufacturing facility?
You just say manufacturer, period.
Yeah, I guess so. Well...
Anyways.
1942, operations began to destroy Sobibor concentration camp. Good. We also have prisoner of war French General Henry Giroud escaped from his castle prison in Festing Concession. So another guy, escaping a castle. A general. It's pretty wild. 43, Japanese Navy Marshal Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto flew from Truk to Rabo, tracked by U.S. fighter aircraft after intelligence intercepted his itinerary. So he has to be dying here pretty soon.
That's what's his name? That's
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. Yeah.
He's the architect of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
No, he dies tomorrow. So we're tracking him right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what else do we got here? 1943, 44. Forces of the communist-controlled Greek People's Liberation Army attacked the smaller National and Social Liberation Resistance Group, which surrendered. Its leader, Dimitrios Pessaros, was murdered. Yikes. Benito Mussolini fled from Salo to Milan. And I was, while I was taking a nap the other day, there was something on TV about what happened to Mussolini. Like, it's a historical mystery. A lot of people, like a dozen or so different groups or whatever, came out and said that they're the ones who killed Mussolini or whatever. All we know is that eventually his body was found, like, after, like, it was like somebody had killed him, and then they found his body, like, slumped next to, like, a wall or something. I don't know.
I thought he was hung.
Yeah, no. Then they did hang him up. You know, he was already dead, but they hung him up, and then they, like, you know, threw rocks at his body and spat on him and everything. And then eventually, I think they just dismembered him, and it was atrocious. But, you know, for the architect of fascism, he deserves all the pain and horror that comes his way. 45, historian Tran Trong Kim was appointed the Prime Minister of Empire of Vietnam. Dude, epic! One of my own, you know, a historian, getting some awesome stuff there. Loons time. 46, Syria declared independence from French administration, and the last French troops were withdrawn from Syria. And so it begins with Syria. 47, Jackie Robinson bunted for his first major league hit. That's interesting.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
All of the accomplished, his first hit was a bunt.
Yeah. 51, Mickey Mantle made his MLB debut with the New York Yankees. He went 1 for 4. What does that mean, 1 for 4?
He got one hit at 4 bats.
Oh, okay.
In other words, he made 4 outs.
Okay. 51, the Peak District became the United Kingdom's first national park. All right. 1956, premium savings bonds were introduced in Great Britain. Okay. 56 as well, Willie Mosconi sunk 150 consecutive balls in a billiard tournament. That's a lot.
Yeah, Mosconi.
Mosconi, yeah.
Willie Mosconi.
Willie Mosconi, yes, I believe a bit about. 58, Brussels World Fair opened in Belgium with a model by chemist Rosalind Franklin, who had died of cancer the day before. Wow. Right prior to it. Okay, did we I missed MGM, it looks like. Metro Golden Mayer, I guess. Huh.
Where is it?
Well, I think I skipped over it. I'm not sure, but because I have a picture here. There was like a merger or a form or something. Hold on a second. MGM. Yeah, I did skip over it. That was all the way back in 1924.
Oh.
Yeah, Metro Pictures, Goldwyn Pictures, and Louis B. Mayer Company merged to form Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MGM. Okay. You know, we have here, the line's on break, so don't worry about that. So, but yeah, I want to get back up to...
Never thought of it. Yeah, 3 mergers there, but obviously, yeah. Metro Golden Mayer.
So, where were we? We were past your time a little bit.
47.
Yeah, here we go, 58. Brussels World Fair.
Right, yeah.
I believe this is a sculpture here. Ooh, it's a little small.
Yeah,
look at the size of that thing. That is enormous. That is gargantuan.
And is it deceiving? Is it really close or?
Oh, I think it's. no, that's a. I don't know. Like, but that is just huge.
Yeah, that's just too big. So we're seeing something.
I don't know.
An illusion.
Well, hold on, like, because I've seen other pictures of it, and it looks like, here it is. It is that big.
Oh, it's big.
It's huge. And you can see this is, it's a sphere here. Let me see if I can open it a little bit. Yeah, it's still under construction.
Ah, yeah.
So, but man, like, the artist who designed that died of cancer the day before. That's a tragedy. That's horrible.
Yeah.
1960, American Samoa set up a constitutional government. All right. On the anniversary of them getting their independence. So I'm wondering if that's intentional. So, 61, 1,400 Cuban exiles landed in the Bay of Pigs in a doomed attempt to overthrow Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
The Bay of Pigs invasion, a group of Cuban exiles financed and trained by the CIA, landed at the Bay of Pigs in Cuba with the aim of ousting Fidel Castro. So we have here Shows you where the Bay of Pigs is right there.
Yeah.
And Guantanamo Bay. Havana is there, so they were hoping to make a beeline to Havana and then overthrow Castro. You were going to say something?
That was President Kennedy's fiasco.
Yeah. So we have here, let's see if I can open this in a new tab. Yeah. Eisenhower started CIA training sessions of Cuban exiles during the summer of 1960 in Guatemala. Kennedy followed the plan and authorized April. So it wasn't just Kennedy. Eisenhower started it.
Yeah, but he implemented it.
Yeah. But without Eisenhower, he wouldn't have had anything to implement. You got to start at the head of the snake. Kennedy followed the plan and authorized April 17th, 1961, invasion of Cuba by 1,400 Cuban exiles. We got that. Nothing went as planned. Airstrike failed to knock out Cuban Air Force. JFK called off the second airstrike. The exiles met 20,000 Cuban troops backed by Soviet tanks and jet aircraft. Whoops. U.S. bombers sent to protect the retreat of the Cuban exiles, but showed up too late. So they just got completely massacred.
Yeah.
61, construction began on the Seattle Space Needle, Washington. 5,850 tons of concrete delivered by 467 trucks over 12 hours for the foundation. So that's just the foundation.
Yeah.
5,850 tons for the foundation. Holy crap, dude! And here's a picture like of it, you know, the spire being filled, and then the dish on the top. So 2 different times.
Yeah.
Really interesting to see when buildings are under construction.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
We also have, in 1964, the Ford Mustang was formally introduced at $2,368 base.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, it was called, it was introduced in late 64. They called it 1964 and a half.
Ah.
It was literally called that.
Wow. Oh, yeah, here we go. Ford Mustang 2368, FOB Detroit. Manufacturer suggested price. And here's what you get. Deep foam bucket seats. No charge. Sporty 3-speed floor shift. 170 cubic inches 6-cylinder engine. All vinyl interiors. Wall-to-wall carpeting. Wall-to-wall in a car, okay. Padded instrument.
On the floor.
I know. I'm just saying. It should be called door-to-door.
Yeah, really.
Padded.
I didn't get the wall-to-wall.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no walls in the car. What the fuck? Is this an RV? Clark? Come on. Padded instrument panel, front seat belts. Well, hopefully you get seat belts. Full wheel covers, and sporty steering wheel. Plus, cigarette lighter, 2 automatic courtesy lights, glove box light, wrap around, front bumper, bumper guards, front and rear. Does that say beater? Curved side glass. Swipe something a year or 6,000 miles, so I guess, or twice a year. Service schedule, self-adjusting brakes.
So it doesn't say 64 and a half anywhere, huh?
It just says Ford Mustang. Yada yada yada. It's not even saying the year.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
I inherited one of those.
Nice.
From my mother-in-law who passed away. She got a brand new.
Ooh.
Was it a piece of junk? Oh, God. I mean, they made that car a lot better later on, but that thing was just terrible.
Well, don't look to gift car in the mouth.
No, I had it for a while.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, my first ex-wife, my only ex-wife.
Yeah.
Not first.
First wife, but ex-wife.
First, one and only.
The original ex-wife.
I made it through with the second one.
Yes. 64 as well. Jerry Mock became the first woman to fly solo around the world. We covered that yesterday, but we have some more here from other sources. U.S. pilot Jerry Mock, at the age of 38, became the first woman to fly solo around the world, returning to Columbus, Ohio, after 29 and a half days in the spirit of Columbus, a single-engine Cessna 180. Whoa. Wow.
Single-engine Cessna.
Yeah. That's
Lord.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. 29 and a half days. 1967, Italian boxer Nino Beneverti defeated U.S. Emil Griffith in a 15 rounds point decision to win world middleweight crown at Madison Square Garden. Start a famous trilogy of fights between the pair.
I don't recall them at all, either one.
I don't either. 60.
Well, you weren't around.
Well, no, I wasn't. 1969, the People's Democracy activist Bernadette Devlin became the youngest woman member of Parliament ever elected to Westminster at 21 years old. Congratulations.
Yeah, 21 years old.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's young. 69 as well, Sirhan Sirhan was convicted of assassinating U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy,
Yeah.
the father of RFK Jr., who's in politics now. Is he the guy with the shit voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Health and Services Secretary of State.
Yeah. We also have the band, formerly the Hawks, perform their first concert at Winterland Ballroom in San Francisco, California.
Hawk.
The Hawks.
Hawks. Never heard of them.
And they were called the band after that. They were formerly the Hawks.
Oh, the band.
The band.
That was, you know how they got their name, the band? Well,
Because they're a band.
Well, yeah. They did. I don't know about the hawk part of it. Maybe
that's what they were called before.
I understand that. I never heard that before. Bob Dylan, who was a major star by then.
Oh, so he joined the band?
No.
Oh.
No. He is using them as backup for recordings and things like that or whatever. And he always called the guy and say, "Hey, let's get the band together."
So that's how they got
together. Let's get the band. Is the band ready
so they
to go?
are called the band from that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So when they decide to go out on their own, what should we call us? I don't know why they didn't go with the Hawks again, but they said, "Hey, let's just call it the band."
That's some cool lore there.
Yeah.
1970, Apollo 13 limped back to safety. Beach-built oxygen tank was no help. So yeah, the ill-fated Apollo 13 returned to Earth safely. So welcome back, welcome home.
Amazing.
It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do that really quick. What is that? Okay, we're not there yet. That's when India joined the space things. Apollo 13. April 13th, Apollo 13, 4/5 of the way to the moon, was crippled when a tank containing liquid oxygen burst. That's the Houston, we have a problem thing. The incident preventing a planned moon landing. The 3-man crew managed to return safely. February 9th, the Apollo 14 spacecraft returned to Earth after man's third landing. So this is just telling me about 70. So that's all it said, really, about Apollo 13. We also have Paul McCartney released his first solo album, McCartney. Okay. 71, Egypt, Libya, and Syria formed a federation, FAR. Well, they are far from us, thank goodness. 72, Kiteman attempting to throw out first ball in Philly vet crashed into center field seats. Kiteman? Is that a guy on a kite? Hold on a second, I have to look this up here. Yes, it is. It's a guy on an actual, like...
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Funny.
Hold on, that's the only image I see. Here we go. Flops at the vet. Oh, that's Facebook. I don't want to go to Facebook. Kite Man.
Well, it is a picture.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find something. Well, this is a whole thing. Well, we gotta keep on moving up. 75, the Khmer Rouge captured Phnom Penh, Cambodia, marking the end of the Cambodian Civil War. This is Kampuchea National Day. All right. 76, National League greatest comeback, trailing 12-1. Philadelphia Phillies defeated the Chicago Cubs 18-16 in 10 innings at Wrigley Field. Mike Schmidt hit 4 consecutive home runs. Holy crap, dude! That's awesome. 78, 63,500,000 shares were traded on New York Stock Exchange. That's their record.
Wow.
I wonder if the record is still, is that still the record today, or is?
No.
I have
way
no
bigger.
63,500,000 shares?
Yeah, it's got to be way bigger than that.
You know what? Hold on a second. Record for shares traded,
24
NYSE, 24 hours. Let's see here. Well, that's just proprietary market data. Is that going to tell me everything? What I need?
I don't know.
No, this is just giving me a whole bunch of crap. Well, I challenge that to the viewer. If you could let us know what if this is still a record or if it's been broken.
Largest trading share day.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section.
New York Stock Exchange, right?
Yeah. 78, Mir Akbar Kibber was assassinated, provoking the Tsar Revolution in Afghanistan. That would cause it. 1982, Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau and Queen Elizabeth II signed the Proclamation of the Constitution Act, establishing the Charter of Rights and Freedoms as part of the country's new constitution. Okay. 83, the first National Coin Week began. Okay, so if you're a coin guy, you probably already knew that. 83 as well, in Warsaw, police routed 1,000 Solidarity supporters. We also have India entered space age, launching the SLV-3 rocket, and that's what this baby is right there.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's being transported and everything. Looks like a very small rocket, probably just to launch satellites, because it doesn't look that big.
Now, is that to be transported, or is that gonna go up on its axis ready to fire?
Wait, why did I hit the wrong one? Hold on a second. It looked like it's to transport the actual rocket, and then I think that, oh yeah, it does right there. You see, does this scaffolding?
Yeah.
It's the same scaffold. So
Yeah,
this
so
lifts
that
it
will
up.
go up, yeah.
Yeah. So that goes. So that's the launch tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at, a launch tower.
Yeah. You're right. It is the launch tower. So, what else do we got here? 1983, Nolan Ryan struck out his 3,500th batter.
There's the man of the fastball. I'll tell you, that guy smoked.
I mean, like, if you look at this picture right here, like,
Yeah.
this guy's so fast, even his hat is like, woo! You know?
He ended up on the Angels at the end of his career.
83, New York Islanders tie the NHL record with 3 shorthanded playoff goals versus New York Rangers. That's incredible.
Yeah.
1 shorthanded goal is incredible. 86, Netherlands and Sicily Islands signed a peace treaty from the War of 1651.
Ooh.
So, and I've mentioned this before several times on the show.
That's over 200 years.
On the alleged state of war lasting 335 years between the Netherlands and the Isles of Sicily declared peace, bringing an end to any hypothetical war that may have been legally considered to exist. So during all that time, they could have attacked each other and been perfectly legal. It's crazy.
It's like North and South Korea.
How do you forget that? But how do you forget that you're at war? Like,
I know.
I mean, a lot of people today don't remember that we're still actively at war with North Korea.
Well, we're not. But
Yes,
North
we
and
are.
South are.
Well, no, because we're allied with the South.
Yeah.
We are, as allies of the South, we are actively at war with North Korea. And Trump crossed the border. They had not only the most powerful person in the world, but somebody that their country is actively at war in. They could have shot him right there, and it would have been not perfectly legal in the Articles of War. Like, that is madness.
And they would have.
Well, they would have fucked themselves, definitely. But
their whole North Korea would have been wiped off the planet.
yes. So, yeah. AO's time. A7, Julius Erving became 3rd NBA and ABA player to score 30,000 points.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he started in the ABA and then it merged into the NBA.
Okay, the American Basketball Association?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. A9, Polish labor union granted legal status. Okay. Soviet-U.S. agreement allowed Soviets to fight U.S. pros. So, like boxing and everything? That makes sense? Like,
U.S.
pros. Soviet-U.S. pros.
I guess so. I don't know.
That's what it says. Professionals?
Yeah.
Like,
it's got to be that. That's what a pro is.
yeah. You know.
So, because no one in the Soviet Union is professional.
Okay. Then,
even though they're working for the government, they're getting paid for the government.
Well, that's not profession. You're just being a government stooge at that point. But
yeah. But you're a boxer. Your profession is boxing. But
when did Rocky fight that Russian guy? Like didn't he fight a Russian guy?
Yeah, he did in one of them.
Yeah.
Rocky, who knows how?
Yeah,
many.
but was that before '89? Because even though Rocky is a work of fiction, I'm just trying to coincide it with actual law.
Yeah.
If Rocky, was he a professional boxer too in that movie?
Rocky was.
Yeah. Okay, so if it was before this date in '89, fighting that Russian guy would have not been legal according to this agreement.
No, not. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, 91, Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 3,000 for the first time at 3,004.46. 92, the Cadima P was deliberately ran aground off Maputo in Mozambique. 60,000 tons of crude oil spilled into the ocean. That's terrible. 93, 2 Los Angeles police officers convicted in federal court of violating Rodney King's civil rights and sentenced to prison, while 2 others were acquitted. We covered that yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. 97, John Bell, at the age of 115, received a new pacemaker. I mean,
Who?
John Bell.
Who's he?
I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna have to say something to do with like the Bell Company or something. John Bell. He outlived the battery. I knew. Yeah. So who is John Bell? John E. Bell. Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh, maybe he's just one of the first pacemakers. I don't know.
I'm gonna look this guy up. John E. Bell.
Maybe it was the pacemaker that's more important.
U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. But this is. No, this is recent. Okay. Well, if anybody can, formerly a VA loan guarantee. Okay, well, this Bell Systems, maybe? I don't know. But, like, can somebody let us know in the comment section who this John Bell is? 97, New Jersey Devil Martin Brodeur. It was the second NHL goalie to score in a playoff game. Who was the first? I think we covered him. Who the first one was.
I don't know.
Sounds familiar. 99, Rock for the Rainforest benefit concert was held at Carnegie Hall, New York City. Performers included Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Billy Joel, Tony Burnett, Don Henley, Ricky Martin, and Charles Aznavour. Okay. 2001, a letter between Gail Norton and Jeb Bush was released stating that the Bush administration had decided to go ahead with plans to auction 6 million acres of potentially oil and gas-rich seabed in the Gulf of America. Bless you. Now, I edited this article a little bit because our primary source still calls it the Gulf of Mexico. Probably because
they haven't changed it yet.
Yeah.
Well, if you're accurate, it was in 2001 the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, but now, well, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, now. So, all right, you have a point. 2002, 4 Canadian forces soldiers were killed in Afghanistan by friendly fire from 2 U.S. Air Force F-16s, the first deaths in a combat zone for Canada since the Korean War.
Yikes.
Wow, 50 years, at least.
Friendly fire is so hard to swallow.
It is. 2003, Anili Jatalaninki took office as the first female prime minister of Finland. All right. We also have 2006, George H. Ryan, the former governor of Illinois, was convicted on 22 counts of fraud, racketeering, and lying to the FBI. That'll get you in prison there. 2009, former New Zealand Prime Minister Helen Clark became the administrator of the United Nations Development Program, the UNDP, the first woman to lead the organization. I hope she's doing it well. Game of Thrones here, 2011, based on the fantasy novels by George R.R. Martin, premiered on HBO. Starring Emilia Clarke, Sean Bean, Lena Headey, and Peter Dinklage. All right. Good old Game of Thrones. Thor, directed by Kenneth Branagh, starring Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman, premiered in Sydney, Australia. I always considered, like, you know, the original Thor movie, it just feels like a B movie. Like, you know, like
I don't think I ever saw it.
I think you have. But, like, you know.
With the hammer? Thor is
yeah.
the hammer guy.
Yeah. But like it just, I don't know, like, you know, it's just the pacing and, you know, the way it just, it feels like a side chapter, you know, which it is. Like, you know, like you have Iron Man, and you have Captain America, you have Thor, Black Widow, and bow and arrow dude, Hawkeye, never got their own standalone movies. Hulk has gotten a lot of stuff, but he never got his own standalone movie. Spider-Man has gone through a whole bunch of stuff, never got his, Spider-Man,
they did a bunch of movies on Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You're talking over my head now.
Yeah, so. Anyway, 2012, the 8th century St. Cuthbert Hospital, or Gospel, Europe's oldest intact book, was purchased by the British Library for £9 million.
Wow.
That's heavy.
Pounds.
Yeah. Must have been a lot of pages in that book there. 2013, North Korea blocked all South Korean supply delegation from the Kaesong Joint Industrial Zone. That doesn't sound good. We also have same-sex marriage was legalized in New Zealand. Okay. 2014, Rock for the Rainforest benefit concert held at Carnegie Hall, New York City's performers included Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Roseanne Cash, Vince Gill, Bruno Mars, Jennifer Hudson, and Brian Terfel. I almost got all that in one breath. Mm-hmm. 2014, NASA's Kepler Space Telescope confirmed the discovery of the first Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone of another star. Wow. The Goldilocks zone there, so potentially extraterrestrial life is sprouted over there. We'll never know. James Anderson in the 2015 became the highest wicket-taking bowler in England's Test cricket history. All right. We got one in
do it.
right near the end.
We almost made it.
Almost.
Damn, within 10 years, 11 years.
2015, Marianne Winkler found a message in a bottle on the shore of the German island of Amrum. It had been dropped in the North Sea by British marine scientist George Parker Bidler on November 30th, 1906, making its length of time spent adrift 108 years, 138 days. Wow. That's awesome.
Wow. That's right.
I always wanted, like, I've always wanted to find a message in a bottle, you know? Like, 2017, first living giant shipworm at 3 feet was found in the Philippines. Really a type of clam. A shipworm. Let's take a look at this. See, 3 feet, but it's really a type of clam. Oh, okay. So this is considered a shipworm. It looks like a worm, but it's a clam. Like
it's ugly.
yeah. Well, you see right here, it's one of those tube things that's in the ground.
Yeah.
So, what else do we got here? 2018 protests across India at the struggle, snuggle, and murder of an 8-year-old Muslim girl in Kathua, Bengaluru. I would protest that as well. That's terrible. 2019, 10 babies with bubble boy disease were cured using a gene therapy made from HIV at St. Jude Children's Hospital, Memphis, according to a new study. What the hell?
I never heard of bubble boy when you're in there because you have no immune system.
Yeah, I mean I've seen
I've
seen the movie Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they gave children AIDS to cure their bubble boy disease. Okay, if it works, it works. 2019 as well, research showing pigs' brains partially brought back to life at Yale University, published in Nature. And this is terrifying because pigs have incredibly, similar DNA to us. So if they can do that to pigs, they can probably do that to us. And there has been a recent discovery I heard from one of the videos. I see the compilation videos and everything. Mm-hmm. Scientists have figured out our conscious switch, like not our conscious as in like, oh, that's good, that's bad, but our awake and unawake switch.
Okay.
And now it's not like
conscious, unconscious.
Yes, awake and asleep. Now, with that said, it's not as if they found the switch and they can make us asleep. No, they turn our brain off. But you know how when you have like a weird dream and you're in that twilight state or whatever, but you're like still asleep, but you're kind of there.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. They can take over your brain. They found the switch and snap you off. You're still awake, but you're asleep. And now you're just walking around, not under your own control. They can control you. Humans are now puppets. Wirelessly.
So how you're making a leap forward though? You're saying they can now control you.
Yes, without you realizing it. They can turn you off so like you're asleep in your brain. Like you go to bed, but your body is still moving like you're sleepwalking, but they're puppeting you.
So they're literally going to make your arms do this or whatever they want to do.
Yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Scary. We also have a terror alert. Closed schools in Denver, Colorado due to 18-year-old woman obsessed with Columbine massacre who was then found dead. Yikes. 2020, the World Health Organization warned Africa that they could be the next epicenter of the Kung Flu pandemic, with over 300,000 deaths, pushing 30 million into poverty as it recorded nearly 1,000 deaths and 19,000 cases to date. More fear-mongering. 2021, San Jose Sharks forward Patrick Marleau tied Gordie Howe's NHL record for most regular season games played at 1,767. Nice. 2022, Alex Jones. His companies, including website InfoWars, filed for bankruptcy in the U.S. after losing defamation suits filed by families of the Sandy Hook massacre, which he called a hoax, but he redacted his statement. Now, there's a whole bunch of hoopla involving the Sandy Hook stuff. There's a whole bunch of hoopla involving Alex Jones. I'm starting to think that he's a government plant and everything. But anyway, back in the days of the pandemic, when I actually had a little bit of money, I actually bought this keychain bullet bottle opener from Infowars.com. So, that's where this came from. So, what else do we got here? 2023, new research showed the Great Pacific Garbage Patch now has coast creatures living and breeding in it, including jellyfish, sponges, and worms, raising concerns about the spread of invasive species. Oh, wow. So the patch now has creatures living in it. That's not good.
Oh, not at all.
Yikes. 2024, extreme weather moved on from the UAE to cause heavy rain and flooding in Pakistan and Afghanistan, and at least 135 deaths. So we were talking about all those massive rains and everything yesterday and all that stuff. And last but not least, this time last year, 2025, a U.S. citizen hijacked Tropic Air Flight 711 at knife point and injured 3 passengers before being unalived by police in Belize. All right.
Belize, no less. Okay.
Yeah. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and I can only bring you, or we can only bring you a portion from 2 different sources. We went through all these 29 pages this past almost an hour, so please check our underbar to continue your path of self-education. It's up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness and a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common grounds with those who see their opinions differently from our own, and find a better way to be better to one another. Or in other words,
I'm okay, you're okay.
Thank you. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, viewer, thank you so much for coming in. Whether it was live or at some other point in the space-time continuum is irrelevant. A view is a view, and I appreciate your patronage. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! We made it under an hour.
Wow, that's the first one.
We actually have 4 minutes to go.
How about that?
Yeah.